Listen up, cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
With Rooster and
The Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution and
morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
So sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine.
Welcome back, cluckheads. You know who we are. You know what we do.
Current events, Constitution, common sense, and
Morals. They're in there.
There's somewhere.
I like to think they're in the back.
I would also like to say that this is a special recording session of the Whiskey and Whine. We are at the Mad Hen's Roost.
Sweet.
Yeah. So occasionally you might hear a dog bark or a gunshot, whichever one happens first or second.
Yes, and the gunshot is not my fault.
Not this time.
Not this time.
All right. So let's go ahead. You know what we do? How we compare. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I got some good ones today.
How we compare our alcohols. I can tell that the Rooster went all out on our low end this week, which is Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor.
Mickey's big mouth.
The big mouth. I guess he couldn't find the pull tabs.
No, nothing is too good for this crew. $6.48. That's where it's at.
Whole $6
for a whole 6-pack of bottles.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, because he's just like family. The actual Overlord.
Yeah, the Overlord's with us.
He escaped his dungeon this week.
Yeah. Well,
I guess he didn't have any victims in there.
Is he really the one that escapes the dungeon?
Depends. He read out of Still Reserve.
That makes sense.
He might have the John Kerry cutout still in there.
So,
so we have some Mickeys here. It's in a green Irish-esque bottle.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a little keg, like if it was a wooden keg, but it's green glass.
Yeah,
and it's got that Irishy look to it, kind of thing.
Kind of like a Bennigan's.
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Bennigan's.
It's classy like Bennigan's.
It's Irish, but not quite Irish.
But it's not really Irish.
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of flair.
Oh, flair. Okay, well, it's got a stinging insect of some sort on it.
I'm not real sure why Mickey's.com looks like a wasp or a yellow jacket.
Maybe,
or a hornet.
Maybe it's a murder hornet.
That's probably murder hornet.
It's probably a murder hornet.
It's going to murder our thirst. That's what it's going to do.
It's going to murder something, probably our liver. So let's see. It's a recyclable bottle.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's 5.6. All right. So let's. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Oh, it actually sounds nice.
I remember last time I drank these, they still had the old pull tabs where you like cut the crap out of your finger trying to take it off. But
all right, time to do the Biden sniff test, boys and ladies.
Alrighty, here we go. You know what? It just smells like cheap beer.
It just smells like cheap beer, but it doesn't smell like like Still Reserve.
No, that's still the worst one.
All right. So
it's not bad. It is a hornet.
We were fact checked. It is a hornet.
Mad Hen fact checked us here. So
all right. So we are drinking these the way that they were intended. So we are not pouring them tonight. Yeah. So we will dive into that one in just a moment. So Rooster, what's the dude? That's a kick-ass can.
Yeah. So the next one is Necessary Evil, brewed by the Manhattan Project Beer Company out of Dallas, Texas. Kind of weird, Manhattan Project.
Oh, that's the reason why.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Okay, so on the label, it's got like the Bohr model of an atom.
Yeah.
BOHR.
So this one's going to be an explosion in our mouth.
Exactly. That's what she said.
But it's a Pilsner. It's their Pilsner. It's called Necessary Evil.
Oh, this is cool. Look at the back of it. Pairs well with tacos, yes, and pool.
Nice. I like it. There's nothing better than a recommendation on that one.
And we did have tacos tonight in honor of the Overlord coming over.
It's great.
Those were actually really good tacos,
really
too.
Cool. The nautical star's pretty dope on that one. So.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a can, but it's like plain classy. I mean, they didn't go over the top. They kept it very, very subtle, very classy.
And Mad Hen just pointed out something. Oh, it entertains the palate without fatiguing it.
I don't want my palate.
I guess it depends on how big that explosion in your mouth is.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like, need a cigarette.
Need a cigarette and a taco. Well, go ahead and open it.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Just
sounds like a beer can.
Sounds like a beer can. Biden sniff test.
Smells like
a Pilsner.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't.
Kind of smells like, have you ever had Czech Pilsner? So that's kind of what it
yeah.
like. It's like,
I was going to say it.
I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We'll find out when it's what it all is.
All right, so here we go. And let's open up these Mickeys.
Let's go back to Mickey's.
The good old
Hold on,
Mickeys.
we can get the clink, I think, because we have real glass.
Oh yeah, we do. Hold on, let's get the Mad Hen and the Overlord in here, so we can get our use your good hand. So there we go.
Hear that? See, that's real glass.
That was some real clink.
And not one of them broke. And it's got the wide mouth on there, so you could like slam the whole thing in like one gulp if you wanted to.
You want to open your mouth that
No,
wide?
no,
Can we do that?
Not since my 20s.
All right. So let's take a sip of this.
That's it's not the worst beer I've ever had.
It's
far from the best beer I've ever had.
Oh, the aftertaste just kicked. Oh,
is it Fritos? What is that weird taste?
I think it's hooker spitting bad decisions. That's it got me like way back here.
Well, this tastes exactly like a 6-pack worth $6.48 would cost.
How much did the Necessary Evil cost?
It was like $10.99. So
standard. Okay.
Yeah.
Big question. Where was it? Eye level. Where was it?
Believe it or not, they were both eye level. The difference is no, hold on. Remember, beer works different than the normal liquor store where they put the crap stuff on the bottom. So when you're in a big beer section like the one I have over by my place, it's just all the really crappy beers are one end of the aisle. And then it's just all about the big packages are in the bottom, and then the small.
It's like you using the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, so this is exactly right next to Natural Light and Olympia.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, this is where you find it. Yeah,
but you were the one that said
that
you found your Natty Light and Bush in the cooler.
Well, is that cooler you put next to the register that really, in case you're thirsty, you've been working all day.
So over the course of all this, have you stopped going to that register?
Yeah, I don't really do that very much, but
that's my proud rooster.
But I'm just saying, $2 is $2.
$20 is $20.
Exactly.
And it's Ron Reynolds.
Captain Deadpool. All right, second drink, and not better.
Not any
better.
No.
And I don't know if making it colder will help. It's got a weird. It's got a weird aftertaste. But again, still not the worst.
But it is resealable. She made a good point.
Yeah, it is resealable. Yeah. Look at that.
So that way you can have your little kegger because they look like little kegs.
Keep it fresh.
Keep it something.
When you just throw it away, you don't feel like pouring it out.
Well, in this one, we could throw it away. It wasn't like whatever that was that we ended up just pouring back into the bottle. McCormick's,
yeah. That was the only one that's going back in the bottle.
So it officially is. That was the worst hard liquor one that we've had.
Yeah, it is the worst hard liquor.
Yeah.
It definitely is. But anyways.
Which is saying something for Kentucky Deluxe.
It is. So Kentucky Deluxe, you're not McCormick's.
All right, let's get into these topics.
Topic number 1.
And your timer started. I'm starting the timer, so you start the topic.
So these are all pretty much follow-ups, but they're just kind of new things that go with the follow-ups. So the first one is Sir Sniffs a lot and the Afghanistan pull-out method that he seems to like to try to
Smells
do.
like goat.
So if you remember, we joked about that we're pulling out of Afghanistan because President Biden doesn't want to get an STD. So he's doing the pull-out method, which doesn't make sense. But whatever, man. He's the president, right?
Come on, man.
That's why he was placed there.
Come on, man.
Anyway, so about 3 weeks ago is when
Corn Pop approved.
About 3 weeks ago is when we discussed this. And you remember the commander in charge out there, I can't remember the general was, but, he was like, cluck this, dude. This is a bad idea. You know what? I retired.
I'm resigning.
I'm resigning. I'm done.
Today.
I don't want anything to do with this. And he did.
Now, if you remember, though, like within 24 hours of him resigning.
Yeah, the Taliban went on an offensive.
They overtook all the border crossings.
Yeah, they fought back the Afghan army in Tajikistan, and then Tajikistan sent all those soldiers back, which led to 22 of those special forces guys being publicly executed.
Beheaded. Yeah, they were publicly beheaded.
So, it's a brutal regime that's going to come back in, and they have. It's been really hard to keep up with this one today because so much has moved so fast today. It's almost like a blitzkrieg.
Okay, so first off, I'm a little taken back that you called it brutal. You called the Taliban brutal because Psaki had said that the Taliban need to figure out who they need to be on the international community. So we don't know if they're going to choose to be brutal yet.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to go back to hanging people at the soccer fields that the UN built for them to try to make them a little bit more peaceful and everything else. They've already gone to the point of women are not allowed to go out in public by themselves. They must be escorted by a male at all times. We're going to see a lot more beheadings.
But that's in the sake of progressivism.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's safety. Yeah. Maybe it's their COVID regulations. I'm not sure. I don't think it is. I mean, they were doing this well before COVID. But yeah, I mean, so yesterday, they had held about approximately 65% of the country. And during a press conference, one of the reporters had asked Biden, do you think this was still a wise decision? Is there anything we're going to do on this? Because it looks like it's only a matter of time before the whole country's going to fall. He responded with, he's absolutely fine with the way this is going, that the Afghanistan government needs to defend themselves, and they need to figure it out. We're still going to give them their close air support and things like that when they request it, but they're not going to have boots on the ground kind of a deal.
Dun.
Exactly. And then
2 hours later.
Lo and behold, here we are today, less than 24 hours later, and we have now sent 3,500 troops into Afghanistan, with 3,500 of the 82nd Airborne being sent to Kuwait in a standby status.
And the Marines have been mobilized at the embassy.
Marines are ready to repel because it is now not a matter of if. It is a matter of when we are going to lose the U.S. Embassy. And yes, we are going to lose the U.S. Embassy. I know they haven't stated it yet, but that's all. Everything is pointing towards that.
And since they've retaken Kandahar, Kabul is only a couple hours from there.
Yeah, Kandahar, a lot of people don't realize Kandahar is the second largest city in Afghanistan. I mean, that was really the heart of Afghanistan in the very early days.
And it's very close to the Pakistan border.
Yeah, so it's just... It's a giant clucking mess, and it's not getting better. So now it's all about just get our embassy people out, get all the Americans out. The Brits are doing the same thing. They have sent in their SAS to get their folks out and get their embassy out. I really think the Biden administration at this point is just trying to avoid being on film footage or video on any cell phone camera of the embassy being overthrown, kind of like it did in the fall of Saigon.
Moab.
Yeah, I would pull everybody out and drop a Moab right on top of the embassy. Because the other situation is, what if we have an Iranian situation where they don't just take the embassy, they take hostages. And this regime will behead.
Timer just went off. You're doing good there, Rooster.
I was doing good. It's the whole thing is just a mess.
You got heated in that.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Did it ruffle your feathers?
So, yeah, it did ruffle my feathers. And so,
you got
Mr. Biden, you can expect... I'm going to start doing follow-ups all the time about how this was
you're getting a little beaky
shameful worst thing that you've done in your presidency so far.
Hey, so the key words there that you said so far, we still got 3.5 more years.
It's the worst day of my life. The worst day so far. It's hard to joke about it, but yeah.
You underestimate tomorrow being Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it is Friday the 13th. So.
All right.
Oh, which one are we drinking still? So we're still on Mickey's?
No, I'm so proud of you. Tonight you haven't switched too soon yet.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get better. It's all about improvement in life, right?
Self growth,
better yourself, right? I mean,
you notice that look how much the overlords drink here.
Yeah, no, did you even crack that open?
I did, but kind of reminds me of Steel Reserve.
Yeah, you don't have a microphone, you don't have to talk.
So he said it reminds me of Steel Reserve if you didn't catch it. But
it's malt liquor, so
you need to catch up with where we're at.
So. But you don't want to go to the next one? Or you want to try? You want to switch over to Necessary Evil before we get to the next one?
Let's go ahead and let's test this Necessary Evil out, and then let's get to number 2.
Ahead of you. It's a Pilsner.
Yeah, but it's got there's something.
It's like Blue Moon.
Yes.
It's got orange in it.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was about to see if the Mad Heat
I don't think I can tell the difference between this and Blue Moon.
To me, this doesn't taste as wheaty as Blue Moon.
It's a little bit more hoppy, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
A little bit more of a hop.
I like this.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
But it's not like the IPA type of hop.
No, it's not a hardcore IPA, but it's definitely got that Blue Moon citrus thing going to it. So I guess that's why it's good for tacos, yes, and pool.
I don't know exactly what we're saying yes to, but
I don't know. And but you know what? Maybe the next topic, this guy knows what
I think that he knows.
Because sometimes yes means no to some of these people.
And the timer has started for topic number 2, Cuomo the Cuck.
Also known as Nipples the Clown.
Oh, my God.
So you guys remember we talked about his inappropriateness and his crazy video of him kissing and hugging women, men, whatever. But, it's just to say he's not being inappropriate. It's just who he is.
Yeah, he said, I'm not a pervert. I'm Italian.
Hey.
It's a good sauce.
You like it a sauce?
I like it a sauce.
That's a good. Sauce.
You like it a sauce of my spicy meatballs. You need to put my meatballs in your mouth.
There we go. There's the stuff. So.
I just got the cutoff.
So this is
I was
probably
approaching the line.
He probably did something similar to that. I mean, this is just a reenactment of what led to his resignation. So
not just his resignation.
Well, no. Well, see, he resigned, and then his brother,
yes, you are correct.
Remember, his brother's the CNN anchor, and his brother was asked to take a leave of absence. And from what I'm seeing now, it's an indefinite leave of absence for his coverage, lack of coverage, whatever you want to talk about.
I guess his victim card got declined.
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird. But again, I go back to that creepy video of him, hugging and kissing and everybody, and his defense of this is just who he is. I'm thinking maybe Bill Cosby should have tried something like that. Maybe, release some of those VHS tapes he's probably hiding in his closet or something.
I'm not a rapist.
Hey, I'm not a rapist. It's just who I am. So have a Coke and a smile.
Oh, you want some of the Jell-O pudding pops that I have in the freezer?
It's still ridiculous that dude's out of jail too. I mean, I don't even know what's going on in the world anymore.
I'm not a serial killer. It's just who I am. Ted Bundy, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I mean, the guy already. I mean, he's got the legacy of killing, or well, I guess he put all those people in the COVID home, right?
Yeah.
So what would you think his legacy? I mean, he's got that. He's got the inappropriateness. So how is this guy's legacy going to end up?
Killing grannies and slapping fannies, baby.
Oh.
Remember, he's Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian. It's fine.
That's a good sauce.
No, it's not fine. None of it's fine.
None of it's fine.
None of it's fine. It's all inappropriate.
But now here's the thing: is that if you watch the Resignation video, he played both sides of the aisle on it.
Well, yeah.
And we're saying that I don't believe that I was inappropriate, but these women say that I were, so I believe them.
Yeah.
But he never formally just said, "Hey, I did it, and I'm owning it."
Yeah, no apology.
No apology. No straight up formal apology, and we're not seeing near the bashing like we did whenever the video came out of President Trump, whenever he said
the audio,
the audio, of just grab him by the
yeah, him and good old, which is odd that the guy's name was Billy Bush.
Yeah, but what most people forget is that he went on national television that night. He said, "Yes, I said this,"
and he even covered it in the debate too. So
he covered it in the debate,
and he's sorry and all that kind of stuff. He apologized,
and he apologized for it, and he owned it.
And he was still wrong for that too. It's just
he was completely wrong.
I guess there's a difference when you own it and when you don't own it.
Yeah,
kind of a deal. But he's out. He's resigned, but he gave himself 14 days, which that's a little concerning itself. I'm going to resign for all this, but I need 14 days to get all my stuff straight before I leave.
He's getting something straight.
Mansion. So maybe there's some transferring of a couple of budgetary funds or something like that. I'm not real sure what he's doing.
Transferring budget funds.
Yeah. Transferring
like names on accounts. Transferring saliva.
Yeah.
Oh, our timer just went off.
Shut him down.
All right.
So what do you think so far? Should we go back now and try to?
Well, we have to.
Yeah. Let me take another sip of the necessary evil.
Yeah, let me take that. Manhattan Project.
Okay. Yeah.
No. Now let's do the direct comparison.
Pops. That doesn't even taste like an alcoholic beverage at this point. It really tastes.
That tastes like horse sweat.
Yeah, I mean it's just like bad water. Really, when you take
Was this bottled in Flint, Michigan?
No, it's actually in Wisconsin. I think is where Mickey's is from. You know, that's the land of Irish people. That's where Bennigan started. I'm not real sure.
Where did Bennigan start?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean,
I'm going to say here.
You're going to say here?
I'm going to say here.
You've lost your clucking mind.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah,
I mean, we had Chili's and what was it, Steak and Ale, and we had
Atlanta. Mad Hannah's.
I was way off.
You were way off.
Way off.
Samsonite. All right, so we're back on the Mickey's.
Yeah, it's just not as good. I mean, it's not the worst, but
it's not. But we got to finish it.
There's a reason it's $6.48 for a 6-pack. And remember, inflation's up. It's goodness.
Okay.
It's good stuff. So we got a couple more topics.
A couple more topics. We're going to do kind of a speed round on this one. So
you tell me when we're ready to go.
Timer is up and ready to go.
All right. County Judge Jenkins here in Dallas County, or we like to call him King Jenkins during the whole COVID lockdown and stuff. So he managed to wrangle up about 12 parents in Dallas County who said that we need to have some type of mandate, even though we actually have a mandate from the governor's office saying we cannot have mandates that force people to wear masks. It's a choice. It is not you're forced to do it. So those 12 people, he went to one of his other judge buddies also in Dallas County. Go figure, he didn't go to another county to try to get this one. And that guy's like, oh, yeah, man, you know what? Dude, you totally have the legal right to override the governor of the state of Texas because you are a county judge. And you should be writing your own mandates and laws.
I'm pretty sure that's the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So every legal expert out here has said that this is not going to hold water. You're going to get smoked in the Texas Supreme Court. You cannot override the governor.
And Abbott and
Abbott and Paxton have already. It's going to court. It's going to happen, and we knew it would. But Jenkins, I think one of his statement was on. It was pretty funny. He's like, if I could guess what the Supreme Court was due, then I would never rule on any of my cases. It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But it was a ridiculous thing. He is just following the White House lead on that eviction moratorium of, we know this is illegal, but we're still going to write this executive action.
Yeah, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I have to work in Dallas County, and I literally heard nothing but complaints all day about the mask.
It's the good. I mean, whether it's good news or side effects, it's going to get overridden no matter what. Cause it's always got to be about choice.
Yeah,
and that's where it's going to be.
Which is like we said previously, paraphrasing Ben Franklin on this: those who give a little liberty for safety will lose both and deserve neither. So. Right. Speaking of safety, how about we talk about some arrest warrants?
Yeah, so the Texas Democrats, the state legislature, all those guys who are like, hey, I'm not going to get my way. Let's take a private plane and go to D.C. and party.
I'm not going to let
take
you
me
play
a
with my
case of Miller
toys.
Lite, have a super spreader event, give everybody COVID.
Can y'all send me care packages? The living conditions are horrible.
Yeah. So they were suing, and it's just this thing just keeps funnier. So now what's come down is all 52 arrest warrants have been issued. So, again, they could solve all of this. Just simply jump on a Southwest Airlines flight. They're pretty inexpensive. You don't have to book.
They can even get a charter from the airport.
Yeah, they probably use that same private jet that took them up there. That $600,000 Beto gave them to stay there.
Yeah.
But anyways, so just come on back to Texas. You can come into Love Field, DFW, Houston Hobby, you pick the airport. I am sure
we can pick you up. One of those, we'll even provide that big white bus.
Yeah, I think the governor will just be there ready with transportation for you.
And they could even have a chauffeur like wearing one of those little uniforms.
It'll be nice and pressy. He has the ball cap.
Yeah.
He'll unlock the back room for you. He'll find you a seat on the bus, strap you in.
Has a 12 gauge.
12 gauge. The strap in's going to be on your ankles and your wrists and around the waist. But you'll be secure.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about the Texas Dems or are we talking about Cuomo?
Well, I don't know if there's any nipple rings involved.
Oh, so yeah, we're talking about the Texas.
Yeah, we're talking about Texas. Yeah. But anyways, so we could just put him in one of those nice little buses. Got the iron bars on the outside of the window, make it nice and safe for them, and take them down there to do their job.
Then right quick, let's talk about Beetlejuice Lightfoot up in Chicago.
Mayor Lightfoot.
Now, first off, what happened to Ella French was a horrible, horrible tragedy.
Yeah.
And my prayers, ever since I've heard about it, has gone out to her family.
Yeah, it's tragic. For those of you who don't know, 2 officers were ambushed in Chicago, and they're not the first officers to be ambushed or shot at since this whole
defund the police movement,
the regime things going on, everything they're doing up there in Chicago. Because it's always the gun's fault. It's not the fact that we don't keep violent criminals in jail and stuff like that. Anyway, so they get ambushed by a couple of guys who are out on probation, who should have been in jail,
and just by having a firearm was committing a felony.
Correct. And so they ambushed, and unfortunately, Officer French lost her life. She was shot in the head, and the other guy is in. I can't remember the other officer's name.
I can't remember his name, but he's in critical condition.
Critical condition. And what happened in this situation is Mayor Lightfoot, obviously, like any politician, whether you're Democrat or Republican, so I don't want to just beat up on Democrats on this one. Like any politician, you got to get in on a good press conference, so you can never let a tragedy go to waste on these things. So she's deciding that she's going to go do a press conference at the hospital, meet with the family and everything. Now, the family of Officer French and the family of the fallen officer said, I do not want her to show up here. The police union said, do not come, do not do this. The police officers on site, which were in 100 plus, said, don't come, don't do this. So, of course, Mayor Lightfoot,
you're saying don't come. But what I really think that you mean is I need this press conference, so I'm going to go ahead and show up.
Yeah, it's kind of like all of Cuomo's victims of, hey, I said no. Yeah, did you?
Did you really?
So anyway, so she shows up, and this was like a real slap in the face. I mean, it truly is. I know some people might not see it is really hitting as it is, but it really affected me on this one. And kudos to these guys. Is every single officer turned around, put their back to her while she was there. That is the ultimate insult that you will get as a mayor from your police department.
The entire police department pretty much just said, cluck you.
That's a no confidence vote right there is all that is. The family didn't want to meet with her. The family refused to meet with her. She still did her little press conference thing. I was a little bit more disturbed that the news really didn't make this front and center because that is huge. And then
timer's up.
Well, I'm going to get one more on this one real quick. It's very similar in New York. The 9/11 families and the first responders told Biden not to come on this anniversary, and so
that's because he said that he would release.
Yeah, but we're going to see how that goes.
Yeah,
it's just I'm starting to see these strong left-leaning cities are having their first responders kind of say, "We don't want anything to do with you at this point."
Well, we made it through episode 17, and we had the special guest of the Overlord here with us.
It's crazy.
I mean, and I will say this: he did not hardly touch his Mickeys at all.
It's weird.
It is weird.
I mean, Matt Hen didn't really drink hers either, so.
Yeah, she said she'll get there.
She's not gonna.
Yeah, she's not going to get there. There's no way that she's going to get there. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in to episode 17.
So which one's the winner?
I'm kind of leaning towards Mickey's.
You think?
As the loser.
Yeah, I was like, all right, man, you can go that way if you want, but I'm gonna go with necessary.
I'm gonna go with necessary evil. I mean, honestly, this is not this type of beer is not one of my go-tos. It's not one of my favorites. And obviously, I would not choose Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor.
No, I hate to say this, necessary evil is the winner. But if you're looking for a Pilsner...
Oh, it's a great Pilsner, yeah.
I think it's a good Pilsner. I think there are probably other choices.
Oh, I mean, let me rephrase. I think that for like a microbrewery and not having it be over the top, it's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Mickey's, it's still worth $6.48 for for a 6-pack. So,
Overlord, you got anything to add?
Never serve me Mickey's again.
Never serve him Mickey's again.
Free beer
outside of the dungeon is what he said.
Yeah, outside the dungeon.
That's what I heard. Did you say that?
In that dungeon, we might see your 14-day resignation sometime.
I will say that the Mickey's definitely left me a little prickly on the insides. All right. Thanks for tuning in to Whiskey and Whine with the Rooster and the Madman. And remember, in a world full of chickens,
be a rooster.
You've listened to Whiskey and Whine. Thanks for tuning in to Whiskey and Whine with the Rooster and the Madman. You can catch brand new episodes every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Deep Dallas Radio on Locked and Loaded with DJ Shane Guns.
Special thanks to our sponsor, GiftedChicken.com, home to all your beard, bath, and body care needs. Veteran owner-operator right here in North Texas. Remember to pick up a bottle of Overlord's Dungeon Oil. It's 100% all natural coconut oil.
Leaves you prickly on the insides.